Hello everyone, welcome to the conditionals. In English grammar, if conditionals are used to express possible or hypothetical situations and their consequences, there are seven main types of conditional sentences: 0, first, second, third, mixed, inverted, and negative conditionals. Each type expresses a different level of possibility, time frame, and certainty. Here is a detailed breakdown. Conditionals and their usages. Zero conditional, used for general truths or laws of nature. First conditional, used for real and possible situations in the future. Second conditional, used for hypothetical or unlikely situations in the present or future. Third conditional, unfulfilled situations in the past and their consequences. Mixed conditionals combine two different types of conditional structures to express situations where the time frames of the condition and the result are different. The first one is zero conditional. Structure: if clause. If along with the simple present. Main clause, simple present. For example, if we heat iron, it expands. It's a general truth. The underlying principle is a well-established law of nature. Let's dive into some more examples, shall we? If we heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. If you mix red and blue, you get purple. If water is frozen, it expands. If you mix water and flour, you get dough. When if comes before the main clause, we use a comma. For example, if you mix red and blue, comma, you get purple. If a sentence begins with a main clause, there is no need for a comma after it. For example, you get purple if you mix red and blue. Let's move on to first conditional, open or real condition. Structure: if clause. If along with the simple present. Main clause, will, shall, can, may, along with the base form of the verb. First conditional is used for real and possible situations in the future. Let's move on to some more examples. If it rains tomorrow, we will cancel the picnic. If you study very well, you will get a good job. If I find the key, I'll give it to you. If I go to India, I can visit the Unity statue. If his father arrives, he may not come with us. We use open condition or first conditional when we give instructions and promises. Conditionals of this type tell us that something will happen if a certain condition is fulfilled. The condition may or may not be fulfilled. Alternative form of first conditional. For example, if weather permits, we shall see you in the evening. This follows the classic first conditional structure. Alternative form: weather permitting, we shall see you in the evening. This uses a participle phrase, weather permitting, for a more concise expression of the condition. Let's move on to some more examples. If God wills, you will be successful in your venture. Alternative. God willing, you will be successful in your venture. If you finish your homework, you can watch TV. Alternative. Finishing your homework, you can watch TV. Let's move on to second conditional. Structures. If clause. Structure 1. If along with the simple past. Main clause would along with the base verb. Structure 2. If along with the past subjunctive. Main clause would along with the base verb. In the second conditional, we use the past simple tense to express hypothetical situations about the present or future. Notes on the past subjunctive. The past subjunctive is identical to the past simple for most verbs. The key difference is with the verb to be. For all subjects I, we, you, he, she, it and they, where is used in the past subjunctive. For example, if I were a bird, I would fly. Let's move on to an example of second conditional. If you studied hard, you would pass the exam. Here is an explanation. The current situation indicates a lack of diligent studying. Success in the exam would be achievable through rigorous study efforts, which are presently absent. The second structure of the second conditional. If clause. If along with the past subjunctive. Main clause would along with the base verb. For example, if I were a bird, I would fly. It's a form of hypothetical statement that expresses a desire or a wish. The phrase combines a sense of longing, imagination, and a desire for freedom and escape. Let's move on to some more examples. If he were taller, he would be a basketball player. If she were here, she would know what to do. If it were sunny, we would go to the beach. Let's move on to structure of third conditional. If clause. If along with the past perfect tense. Main clause would have plus past participle. Let's move on to some examples. If you had studied hard, you would have got a good job. It means you didn't study hard and as a result, you didn't get a good job. If she had run, she would have caught the train. It means she did not run and as a result, she missed the train. Let's have some more examples. If I had seen her, I would have saved her from drowning. It means I did not see her and as a result, I did not save her from drowning. If we had gone earlier, we would have got the ticket. It means we did not go earlier and as a result, we did not get the ticket. We are exploring mixed conditionals, combining different time frames. Mixed conditionals combine second and third conditionals in sentences for a unique conditional pattern. Mixed conditionals. Type 1. Present result of a past condition. Structure. If clause, if along with the past perfect. Third conditional. Main clause, would along with the base verb. Second conditional. For example, if I had studied harder, I would have a better job now. This type of mixed conditionals is used to talk about a hypothetical situation in the past and its result in the present. For example, if I had studied harder, I would have a better job now. This means that the speaker did not study hard in the past, and as a result, they do not have a better job now. Let's move on to another example. If she had saved more money, she would be traveling the world now. Let's explain. This means that because she did not save more money in the past, she is not traveling the world now. The past perfect had saved indicates the past condition and would be indicates the present result. Mixed conditionals. Type 2. Past result of a present or continuing condition. Structure. If clause. If along with the past simple or past subjunctive. Main clause would have plus past participle. For example, if I lived in New York, I would have attended the concert last month. Let's have another example. If I lived in Paris, I would have watched the Olympic Games last month. This means that because I did not live in Paris now, I did not watch the Olympic Games last month. The present condition, if I lived in Paris, affects the past result, I would have watched the Olympic Games last month. Negative conditional. Unless. Unless and if not both convey the same meaning of except if. Negative conditionals. Unless clause. Present simple. Main clause. Will, would, shall, should, can, could, may or might along with base verb. Let's have some examples. If you study very well, you will get a good job. The negative form is if you don't study very well, you won't get a good job. Now let's replace if not with unless. Unless you study very well, you won't get a good job. If he goes to Paris, he will speak French. The negative form is if he doesn't go to Paris, he won't speak French. Now let's replace if not with unless. Unless he goes to Paris, he won't speak French. Inverse conditionals. Leaving out if. Inverse conditionals are a variation of conditionals where the if clause is omitted and the sentence begins directly with the auxiliary verb, often inverting the order of the subject and the verb. Inverted first conditionals. Structure. If clause. Regular. If plus subject plus present simple. Main clause. Subject plus will plus base verb. Inverted form. Structure. Should plus subject plus base verb. Main clause. Subject plus will plus base verb. For example, if you work hard, you will succeed. The inverted form is should you work hard, you will succeed. Let's go to another example. Regular. If they arrive on time, we will start the meeting. Inverted form. Should they arrive on time, we will start the meeting. Inverted second conditionals. There are two structures. Structure 1, if clause. Regular. If plus subject plus past simple. main clause, subject plus would plus base verb. Inverted structure, where plus subject plus to infinitive, main clause, subject plus would plus base verb. For example, if he studied harder, he would pass the exam. Inverted form is, were he to study harder, he would pass the exam. Structure 2, regular. If plus subject plus past subjunctive, main clause, subject plus would plus base verb. Inverted form, structure, where plus subject plus adjective or noun, main clause, subject plus would plus base verb. For example, if I were rich, I would travel the world. Inverted form, were I rich, I would travel the world. Please note the difference between two structures. Inverted third conditionals. Structure, if clause, regular structure, if plus subject plus past perfect, main clause, subject plus would have plus past participle. Inverted structure, had plus subject plus past participle, main clause, subject plus would have plus past participle. For example, if I had known the tragedy, I would have helped. Inverted form, had I known the tragedy, I would have helped. Comparison of the first and second conditionals. First conditional, if you study very well, you will get a job. നന്നായി പഠിച്ചാൽ നിനക്ക് ജോലി കിട്ടും. Second conditional, if you studied very well, you would get a job. നന്നായി പഠിച്ചാൽ നിനക്ക് ജോലി കിട്ടും, പക്ഷേ നീ നന്നായി പഠിക്കുന്നില്ല എന്ന് ധ്വനി. Comparison of the first and second conditionals. Another example. First conditional, if we go by bus, we will reach there on time. ബസ്സിൽ പോയാൽ നമ്മൾ സമയത്ത് അവിടെ എത്തും. Second conditional, if we went by bus, we would reach there on time. ബസ്സിൽ പോയാൽ സമയത്ത് അവിടെ എത്തും, പക്ഷേ ബസ്സിലല്ല പോകുന്നതെന്ന് നമ്മൾ തീരുമാനിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. Comparison of the second and third conditionals. Second conditional, imaginary condition. If you studied very well, you would get a job. നന്നായി പഠിച്ചാൽ നിനക്ക് ജോലി കിട്ടും, പക്ഷേ നീ നന്നായി പഠിക്കുന്നില്ല. Past expression but present meaning. Third conditional, unfulfilled condition. If you had studied very well, you would have got a job. നന്നായി പഠിച്ചിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ നിനക്ക് ജോലി ലഭിക്കുമായിരുന്നു. നീ പഠിച്ചില്ല, ജോലി കിട്ടിയതുമില്ല. The following are the alternatives to if, unless, as long as, on the condition that, in case, provided that, providing that, even if, whether or not, suppose, supposing, assuming that, in the event that. The upcoming video will explain alternatives to using if.